So in this video, I'm going to show you a step-by-step process of creating a Google form, how to customize it to suit your needs, and how to view and analyze responses using the same Google form. People always ask this question a lot. How can I limit responses in a Google form? Well, we will handle that later on in the video, but first let's handle the basic steps of creating a simple Google form. Step number one. How do you access the Google form? If you want to access the Google form, open your browser and go to drive.google.com. Make sure that you signed in to your desktop or on your phone with your full name and email address. Now click on the new button in the top left corner of the Google Drive page. From the drop-down menu, you can choose Google Forms from the available options and click on it. Step number two, how do you name your Google form? You realize there is another untitled form field at the top corner, and once you click on it, it will change the name to that you already wrote in the form field, but it isn't necessarily supposed to be the same name. You can choose another name of your choice. The only name that will appear to your respondents is the one on the form field right here. For instance, let's imagine you're creating a form for a customer feedback survey for a company, let's say ABC Tech Solutions. Click on the untitled form and rename it to ABC Tech Solutions Customer Feedback Survey. This name clearly identifies the purpose of the form and the company it is associated with. And now the name that will be visible by respondents is the one that appears right here. Step number three, how do you add questions? When you want to add questions, click on the plus icon right here and it will load the question field. You can choose the type of questions that you want to add, such as multiple choice, short answers, or you can as well upload a file. For example, if you want to ask respondents to fill in an attendance list, you can as well include fields like surname, first name, address, contacts, and so on, depending on the needs of the attendance list. And the form will automatically detect the type of answers required, whether short form answers or multiple choice. You can as well customize each question by adding options, setting validation rules, or making it a required question. For instance, if you are creating a survey about customer satisfaction, you can add a multiple choice question asking, how likely are you to recommend our service to a friend? With options ranging from very likely to not likely. And if you want them to give their opinions, you can as well come here and select others. When you select that, you give them the liberty to add any answers of their choice. But if you want to limit the answers to exactly the ones that you have presented, then you can just delete the other option. If needed, you can set up conditional logic by dividing your form into sections and applying conditions based on responses. For example, if a respondent selects not likely, you can direct them to a section asking for additional feedback to understand their concerns better. If you want to do that, use the section setting to divide your form into different steps and hide future questions from respondents. And another way of doing this, if you have a form with various types of questions, sections can help you organize them so that respondents don't skip them. You realize there is this required toggle button on the right corner of every question. If you want respondents to fill in some information without skipping them, you can activate this required button right here. And upon submitting the form, respondents can't submit without filling out those fields. Whenever you want to add a question, you simply just click this plus button right here. And then another thing that you can do, if you want to limit respondents from giving more than one answer, you can come here at the bottom right of the question and select response validation. This will bring a new field down here where you will fill out the number of responses needed and the error message that you want to be shown to the respondents if they submit more than one answers. For example, you can write something like this. Please choose only one answer as the error message. Step number 4. How do you customize your form? Well, before we do the customization, let's revisit the question that people always ask. about limiting the number of responses. If you want to do that, click on the settings gear icon and scroll down to locate the limit to one response option and then turn it on. When this option is enabled, your respondents will be required to sign in with a Google account before submitting the form. Each Google account will be limited to one response. Now back to customization. How do we then customize our questions? There is a lot of ways we can customize our questions. You can add images or videos to make your form more engaging, especially quizzes, for example. You can add an image related to the question topic to provide more context. I'm sure you have seen such polls on YouTube that involve images. That's what exactly I mean here. Another trick here, if you want your respondents to submit documents or portfolios, then you can use the file upload question type. Allow your respondents to submit any additional files. This is less common but very important. You can as well add titles and descriptions between questions to provide more information and set expectations for your respondents. For example, if the form title is about employee feedback survey, you can as well go forward and add a title between question like employee demographic and go forward to add some simple description on that title. For example, you can add something like, please provide some basic information about yourself. This information will help us understand the demographic of our workforce. And then afterwards, you can add questions like, what is your age? What is your gender? And what is your department? Another thing you can do is to customize the form design. You can customize your form in different colors, text fonts, and many others. Click on the paint palette icon to access the customized theme settings. You can change the background color, text fonts, font size, and add a header image to match your branding. For example, if you're creating a form for a company, use the brand colors and logo to match the company's needs. The next thing would be to share the form. But before you do that, make sure that you preview your form to see how respondents will be seeing it. And if there is any changes to be made, then make sure that you make those changes. To preview your form, click on the eye icon on the top right corner and see how everything will look like. Step number 5. How do you share your form? There are two basic methods of sharing your form, but hopefully the second one is my favorite. The first method is to share your form via email. So click on send at the top right corner and then enter the email address of your recipients. Customize the subject and the message to fit your needs. And don't forget to tick the include form in email box to share your form directly in the email. Choose to collect email addresses if needed at the top corner and then click on send to share the form within the selected recipients. The second method, and this is hopefully the best method and the simplest one, click on send at the top right corner and then click on the chain icon right here. You realize the link is too long, so what you do is to shorten the link before sharing it. Click on shorten link and finally click on copy. And if you want to see your responses, then click on the response tab. You'll be able to see all the responses and attend to them in real time. And if you want to stop receiving responses, then turn off accepting responses by clicking this button right here. If you got value in this video, please subscribe and give this video a like. See you in the next video. Bye bye.